Today I will talk about the color component. The first part is about static color and the second part is about an FX or dynamic color fade. For the video we use here the group squares. We have here our color component and then I will talk about here the 4 different sections of this component. So first of all, the color picker, you already know, click here to get a color. Double click in the color picker and you will get an additional pop-up. Here you can select the colors very detailed. Then you can use here the color dimmer to dim down and dim up. To enter a specific value, also just double click in the fader and then you can enter your number, like for example 70, and now the fader will jump to this value. About the color quality fader, I will say more in a minute. The second section is about color temperatures, so let's jump right into it. So we have at the top a color dimmer. Let's set it up to 100%. And then we can select here different color temperatures, like for example a warm color temperature, a medium color temperature, or a very cold color temperature. To set a specific Kelvin value, you can use here the Kelvin fader. You can also double click and enter a number, like for example 3900, and then the fader jumps to this value. Then we have here 2 more faders. The first one is the magenta green shift. So you can adjust this if you go to the left or to the right. Let's bring it back to a neutral value. And then the last one is the color quality fader. So the default value for the app is 100%, so the highest possible color quality. If you want to have a higher color output, you can use the fader and go a little bit to the left. And now you can see your fixtures will be a little bit more bright, but the quality is a little bit reduced. The third section here, you have some leaf filters, so you can just click here on the number and then you get the leaf filter. You can select here between different leaf filters and a color palette of pre-made colors for you. So the last section is the FX section. I think this is the most interesting part because here we can make dynamic color fades. Just select a pre-programmed effect for you. So now we selected here a rainbow effect and now you can see that the squares will make a rainbow effect and the color is changing over time. So here are a lot of effects. You can just play a little bit around, click on them and you can see they are very cool and very powerful. In the next step I will explain to you in detail how to make such an effect. Therefore, we will first of all reset everything and then we need to click here on the Customize Color FX button. Let's for example say we want to make an effect with blue and white. Then we go here on the black color and select blue as our first color. Then on the plus icon to select another color, like for example white. And now we have the 2 colors we want to have. If you want to, you can add more colors here with the plus icon, and with the minus icon you can reduce a color. So now we can see the colors are kind of fading between blue and white. You can also see this behavior here in the color result tab. You can also further adjust this fade between blue and white. For example, you can say, hey, I want to have more blue and less white, and then you can further change the in-fade times between the different colors. So here you can see a number, so this is the time how long this color stays or fades in. To make a complete effect slower or faster, you can use here the time interval fader. So if we go to the right, it will get slower. You can see this here in the fader, the value changes, and if you go to the left, it gets very fast. So let's go back to a normal value like this. One more thing here, you have some example colors where you can choose from. For example, if you know you want to make a rainbow effect, you can click here on the rainbow and then you can just further adjust this effect a little bit. So far we did only effects where all of the pixels of the matrix or the fixture light up the same. But we can change this here with the effect pop-up. To show very clear effects, I will change this to only a stay time. And now let's click here on the effect pop-up. So currently the blank paper is selected, which means that it is an effect over time. We can choose here, for example, the wheel, and now you can see that the colors are spinning around. So here are a lot of effect patterns where you can choose from. Just click on it and you will see it. So this is like a top and bottom switch. And there are even more, like for example here a wall effect from top to bottom or from left to right. Let's keep the wheel effect for a moment and I will go to the next settings. I think the effect direction, normal and reverse, it's obvious, and now it changes the direction of the spinning. Here the effect orientation, here it gets a little bit more tricky. Currently pixel matrix is used. So the effect will be played on the complete matrix of this group. So at the beginning when we created the squares group, maybe you remember, we did some positioning, and this positioning is needed here for the matrix effects like pixel matrix and segment matrix. If we use for example pixel fixture, then you can see that the effect is played on only each individual fixture. So for this effect there's no positioning needed. And there is one more setting, it's the segment matrix. So now it also plays on the complete matrix, but each fixture will behave like it has only one pixel. Let's go back to pixel matrix and let's change the effect pattern to the wall effect, because with this effect I can explain to you the effect size and the effect variation best. So now you can see that here are some sections and they are moving up. If we change the effect size, the sections get smaller, and if we make the effect size smaller, then the sections get bigger. Let's make it back to 1. So the effect variation is kind of different for each effect pattern. So just play a little bit around with it. So if you select a wall effect, then the effect variation will change the angle. For example, like this. So now we have kind of a diagonal effect. One more thing here on the color, we did not talk about the audio and repeat section. This is also a very cool section, because here you can make your fixtures light up to the beat of the music, which is recorded by the microphone of the tablet. Therefore, we will make a dedicated video only for this feature, because it's very cool and it needs a little bit time to explain it step by step. So now you know almost everything about the color component. Have fun to play a little bit around with the app, and I'm sure you will create cool and unique effects.